$25 from Mr. MKL who says shout outs to the Bloodstain crew, loving the run, loving the Screaming Dragon. On that note, $50 from Ace Kage who says woo!
何が見えてるんでしょうね、コメントはね。
では私はちょっと、裏方の作業に行きます。ちょっとミートになりますね。
Okay, we're gonna go to a short ad break, so please stay tuned.
まあ今のとこですね。どこまでだ？機器買い替えまで一応。ああ、宣伝中だった。はい、おはようございます。
Specializes in bringing rare import Japanese games to conventions and events all across the country, featuring titles such as Yubi, Chunizum, Mai Mai, Taiko no Tatsujin, and much, much more. They host America's largest collection of independently owned import arcade cabinets. You can find their social media at facebook.com/TokyoAttackGaming and twitter.com/TokyoAttack.
東京アタックについての説明ですけど、東京アタックっていうのはアメリカでアーケードの、ここ書いてあるんですけど、アーケードゲームレンタルって書いてあるんですけど、主にアメリカで、日本の筐体とかも結構向こう持ってって、レンタルをやってる会社です。
Ape Out slams its way onto Nintendo Switch and PC on February 7th. Visit apeout.com and wishlist it on Steam. You can also follow their social media at Gabe Cazillo. That is Gabe Cuzzillo.
はい、というわけで宣伝でした。
Have $100 from Stackhouse who says best of luck to all the runners. Save the frames. Kill the cancer.
今回も多分アーケード設置されてるでしょうね。
$25 from Kisno who says to GDQ and their amazing stream that always cheers me up. A friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer at 24 and he's now going through therapy.
アーケード絶滅したんですね、やっぱね。
This is something that I won't forget. Thanks for your work. Thank you very much. We have $50 from Chim Bracco who says, hey Laxus, I've greatly enjoyed watching you freezing those sickles and shaving off time in this amazing game while lurking in your channel. Thanks for bringing Curse of the Moon to everyone at AGDQ. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Father donates $25 to say, hey Punchy, hey Laxus, I couldn't decide who was going to get this donation, so you two both get to decide what this incentive goes to. Good luck on both of your runs. Actually, these incentives are a thing. But thank you very much.
なんか喋った方がいい。次のドンキーコングトロピカルフリーズはですね、GDQ エクスプレスでも行われたやつでございます。はい、ちょっとカテゴリーが若干違うんですが、はい。
はい、戻りました。
コンガは出ないですね。スイッチなんでね。
トロピカルフリーズの解説はいないです。誰か来てくれ。
今から GDQX 見ればいいじゃん。
何分でしたっけ。1時間半間に合わないじゃないですか。
We have an interview coming up with the Rickstar for his in anticipation of his upcoming Jak3 run.
さて残り作んなきゃ。
Take it away, folks. Hey
Hey there, Kung Fu for Cup here again with you. We are joined by, I hear Ricky, or the Rixer, who's getting ready to do his Jak3 run. So we want to learn a little bit more about that. But first, I wanted to ask, since you've been to a lot of marathons over the years, can you tell us about your experience and how many games you've been able to run during the marathons?
Yeah, so I've actually got a bit of a streak going. I think I have been to speedrun marathons ever since ESA 2013. And I've pretty much been to every summer one since then. And then I've attended AGDQ2016, 18, and now 19.
そうですね、今回、ニアオートマタありますね。ドネートで、コメンテーター、解説の人がコスプレするかどうかを決めるっていうのがあるっぽいですね。まだ達成はされてないみたいです。
Yeah, the thing that's quite difficult about submitting to a marathon and getting in is making sure, figuring out what hasn't been done yet, just bringing something new to the table and like figuring out new ideas. For example, like, you know, sometimes Super Metroid gets like submitted a lot. For example, you got to like find new categories, new ideas, and think of cool things. I remember seeing this. I think it was a run with it was Andy and I don't remember the other guy. I'm sorry. Oates. There you go. They did like a co-op sort of Link to the Past and Super Metroid thing, and like combining that. That's a super cool idea, and I think it's something a lot of people want to see. So just make sure to be. You don't have to be innovative immediately if you're submitting a game that's actually never been seen, in my opinion. But if it's something that's, you know, like it's a recurring thing, I think you have to think of something different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So keeping it fresh.
Basically, yeah.
So then with your run coming up, is there anything cool or interesting we should be looking out for?
The incentive, for sure.
Okay,
I haven't actually looked at where the incentive is at, but it's going to be so great. I'm not going to say a whole lot about what you're about to see, except that in 2018, so this is the first Jak run where you're going to see this. This exists in all Trilogy Jak games. There's what's known as the debug code that was found this year. And the debug code is essentially it's like a developer code, so you can fly around and do a bunch of stuff. It's like the dev tools that were put into the game, and you can do a bunch of whack stuff with it. And yeah, you're gonna see that on stream.
So we can see a little bit.
Yeah, so I hope that's gonna get met. It's gonna be good.
That would be great, guys. You hear that? Let's hope that gets met so that we can check that out. That's really cool.
I want to see it.
So how about your community? Is there anything cool that the community's been up to? As you've mentioned, the debug codes. What else is going on?
Yeah, there's been a few things for sure. Earlier on in the year, like in Jak 1 especially, there's been a lot of discoveries. There's been a segmented run made by Mike. He did a really good job on that, and we're also basically trying to find like the next sort of barrier skip in Jak 1, where so if I were to compare it to Mario 64, you need 72 power cells to beat the game. We found the 72 like barrier break, so you can beat it with 20 cells now. But we're trying to beat it with 7 now, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not like viable yet for runs, but there's one person that's done it on console just once, and so we know it's like technically doable. So we're trying to figure out a way to incorporate that, perhaps.
Right, to make that consistent.
Yeah, it's going to probably be hell to begin with, but hopefully there's going to be something that's going to make it runnable.
Right.
As for the other games. There's been some optimization with I think it was this year when Jak 2 broke the 1 hour mark, so that's pretty big.
Nice.
So that's nice. Jak 3 hasn't seen a whole lot. Just mostly me and a guy called Goofy optimizing No Out of Bounds, the category you're about to see now, and then all missions.
Cool.
So that's that.
Well, I hear Goofy is the wisest character in the Kingdom Hearts universe. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's the
so
champ.
He must be helpful.
No, he's the champ of Jak 3. So don't underestimate him.
That's awesome. So. I think we could go to a little social media if you want to get a quick question or two.
For sure.
How does that sound? All right, so this is from Thunkyo, who asks, what got you into running Jak3?
Oh, man. So the first game I ever ran was Crash 2, and I was on SRL doing a bunch of races and stuff like that. And then I realized in my head, like, I could be running so many games. Like, I've got, like, a whole library, right? So I was sitting, like, I must have been, like, 15 or something like that. I was sitting bored in a math class, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play Jak 3. That sounds fun. I went home and realized how long the run was. Just didn't practice or anything, didn't route anything. I just jumped into it. And I'm like, I can't do this. And it was too long. I didn't research anything, and it was just way too long. But then I started getting into it more, finding the skips and making the game shorter and not like 4 hours long. And started becoming more around an hour and a half, and it just became really fun, and I've just kept doing it over the years.
Cool. And you've run a bunch of games in between then, right?
Yeah, for sure. I keep coming back to Jak3, and usually I don't actually come back to games a whole lot. I usually like to, you know, go in a game, just dismantle it, and then leave. Yeah, I've done that with a few games. I remember God of War. I came in just like I played it so much, like every single day for 2 months. Got the record, and then just pieced.
Nice.
Pieced when I got it.
Well, at least Jak.
I see you, Rag.
So Jak has a special place in your heart then.
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
That's kind of one of my firsts.
That's awesome. So we are so excited to see that coming up. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And let's pass it back off. Good luck to the next run coming up.
Thank you to Ricky for his insight, and I am happy to announce that the Jak3 Glitch Exhibition donation incentive has been met. So Ricky, you get your wish.
いやー、
Yeah, give
ド
it
ン
up.
キ
Give it
ー、
up for
ドン
Ricky.
キーの解説来てくれると嬉しいな。
We have $75 from Christian Palaceguard who says, "Have watched the past year GDQ
ドン
speedruns
キ
on
は
YouTube, and I finally get to watch it live."
一作もやったことないんで全くわからないんですよね。
Thank you very much. We have $100 from Slam Hammond who says, "Hi, take my money. Thanks, smiley face. Gladly." Thank you very much, Slam Hammond. $100 from Noob Games, who says, "First time watching, donating to a GDQ Live. Good luck to all the runners and the awesome work they do for charity. Destroy those games." Thank you very much. And $50 from Anonymous, who says, "First time watching AGDQ Live. I have this entire week off because I'm switching jobs. Couldn't have picked a better week to have off." $50 from Glovebait, who says, "Here is a problem with AGDQ.
このカテゴリーのノーデスアビューズっていうのは、
Except maybe Strider. Anyone can
ノー
Strider.
デス
Thank you very much, Glovebait.
まあ、死を乱用するなってことだから、どういうことなんだろう、死ぬなってこと。
Longtime fan, keep up the great runs, everyone. Thank you very much.
カテゴリーがよくわからない。
We have $250 from Ash Bearfox, who says, "2 years ago, my father was diagnosed with laryngeal cancer. He recovered but lost his voice. While I sadly will never hear him again, I am lucky to still have him in my life. AGDQ is my favorite gaming event of the year and has helped me stay positive while my dad was going through treatment. Time to give back." Thank you very much, Ash. It means a lot. $10 from Taros, who says, "Please keep up the good work to fight cancer. Coming up to almost a year cancer-free for myself and my father, so the cause is close to my heart." Thank you very much.
8回死ぬと何かをスキップできて、それが禁止されてるみたいですね。
Well done to all the runners, and here's to vanquishing cancer even quicker than some of those bosses. Thank you very much, Esoteric.
8回死んだらステージスキップできるけど、それが禁止されてるっていうやつか。なるほど、ありがとうございます。
A little bit by a lot of people goes a long way. If there's a whole page of $5 donations, I'll donate an extra $250. Thank you very much. And he has a point. He's right, you know. have $25 from Dr. Madnar, who says, just wanted to donate a little since cancer research is very important to me since I've lost my grandfather and grandmother. And the most recent would be my mother in November of 2017. Let's all help to beat this disease so others don't have to go through the pain of losing a loved one. Couch can decide what incentive to put the money to. Thank you very much. We have an anonymous $100 donation with no comment. Thank you very much, anonymous.
ペーパークラフトを作ってますね。今度何作るんだろう。
We have $250 from Splatsune, who says, good afternoon from Australia. Sending in my donation early since I'll miss the Splatoon Octo expansion run tomorrow. I'm looking forward to so many of the runs and will check out as much as I can during the week. Good luck everyone with your runs and don't get cooked. Thank you very much.
これはビーズアートというよりは、ペーパークラフトですね。ただすごく細かく切ってますね。
Put this towards naming the Morrowind file name Todd Howard. Buy his game. Thank you very much, anonymous. Have $25 from Inferno Blitz, who says shout out to the Yeti and the artist for another round of awesome merch. Put this towards the one true villain QLex. Thank you very much, Inferno Blitz. And I think we are just about ready for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze with Spike Vegeta, Michael Goldfish, and Kruncha.
あ、始まりますね。
Through is the way to go. You know we're live, right? Oh, are we live? They can hear us now? I see Goldfish turning to look at me and like talk, and I was like, "Do you not hear him throwing it to you right now?"
レースではないのかな。
What's up, everyone? Are we enjoying AGDQ2019? Give it to me.
レースかな。あ、でも3画面ありますね。
Well, this is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This is the Nintendo Switch version. We'll be playing on Funky Mode. To go ahead and, like, while we're getting this queued up, do you want to explain exactly what this category is, Hobbs? Any % no death abuse, Funky Mode?
Yeah, so with the Switch release of the game, they actually released a new mode, Funky Mode, which gave you some additional hearts and a new character, which we'll be talking about a lot as soon as we get into it. But it also introduced a mechanic that that is useful for any %, but not for the category they're going to be playing.
本家チャットがファンキーモードっていうチャットで埋まってますね。
option to skip that level and go to the next one. And because of that, you can actually skip some really longer levels if you do that, but it's a little less interesting because you tend to just roll off a ledge 8 times in a row or something. So this is the no death abuse category. They can use Funky Kong, they can use the original Kongs, and we'll get into that too, but there is no death abusing. They will die unintentionally, and then we'll laugh.
Spoilers. All right. Well, are we ready, gentlemen?
Yep.
I guess we're going to alter the runners. I'm Spike Vegeta.
I'm Michael Goldfish.
I'm Kruncha. I am Hobbs.
And let's do this. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
レースかな
So
こ
the
れ
run
は。
starts actually at where it did right there on the world map rather, because it just skips a long intro cutscene, so they want to get rid of that, and there's nothing else that really happens. So they're both going to smash through, or they're all going to smash through this. And now you have Funky Kong. So if you saw the last time this was shown at AGDQ or you played it on Wii U, Funky Kong is a new character introduced that you can infinitely roll with as if you had a partner Kong from the original version of the game. Also, he has a double jump, and turns out double jumps are pretty good for speedrunning unless you're Spike Vegeta, who just fell and is now trying to get back up using a technique called a grab jump. Yeah, there we go. So we got the early lead being taken by Michael Goldfish here. Spike is not too far behind.
It's pretty far behind.
Kruncha,
I think the race is over.
Kruncha's right in the middle there, just barely behind Goldfish. But yeah, so Funky can roll infinitely, which will allow him to roll through enemies, not through every type of enemy, but through a lot of them. He also has a double jump, which will preserve your momentum, and that's very important because, I mean, you've watched speedruns by this point. You know when we say the word momentum and preserve, it generally means pretty good things. In 1-1, it's really just all about getting to the end as quickly as possible. There's nothing too special about it except that one jump that Spike missed up. And other than that, they're really just going to be rolling through here and bouncing off enemies instead of starting up rolls whenever they can. Because every time you start up a roll, it costs just a little bit of time. It's like a quarter of a second, probably even less than that. And thus, when you bounce off enemies to preserve your momentum, you actually save that roll startup animation. So they're going to be doing that throughout the entire run. You slap this gong, not the ground, but the gong 3 times in order to change the environment, and that'll get you to the end barrel here. All right, not too bad, not too bad.
Hey, congrats on finishing, man.
So, I think that was a problem with my controller, so if you both could just, like, jump in a pit real quick. We're in this together.
Oh, man. All right, so we're into 1-2. One of the other things that rolling can do for you is you can roll on water, which is very useful in both this level. You immediately saw Goldfish do it just for a moment there. But also, one of the things that Spike showed off in 1-1 because he fell is that you can do a grab jump with Funky Kong in order to get extra height. So basically, whenever they're doing a double jump and it looks like they got a lot of height out of it, see if you can tell that Funky kind of grabbed his arms out, because when that happens, they're getting just a little bit of extra height, and they can use it to make some jumps safer and also to make some jumps that weren't possible before. Now you're seeing some swimming from Goldfish and Kruncha here. Swimming is...
Hey, I'm swimming too,
okay,
dude.
now you are, not when I started.
I'm totally in the water.
Swimming is basically just like with rolling, you can corkscrew infinitely with Funky Kong. Funky is not the fastest at swimming, so he won't be the character that we use for swimming the entire run, but he's not too bad because he can corkscrew infinitely.
You know, me and Kruncha got that, by the way.
Wait, he got it?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Kruncha actually got it?
I actually got it.
You were 0 for a million in practice.
Always the tone of surprise today.
Said jump in a pit. Hey, there are pits in this level. You drop in a pit, you die, and you go back to a checkpoint. What's the pig's name again?
Do you want to show them?
I think as a gentleman that you are, Mr. Funky Kong, you should jump in the pit.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, if you haven't noticed, we've got a cosplay going on right here. We got Funky Kong himself. Yeah, there we go. Give it up. Shorts and all.
This is a cosplay?
Yeah. That's what cosplaying is.
I thought this was how you wore your clothes just every day.
Yeah, I wore this to bed, actually.
All right, in 1-3 here, you can see that they already had a very fast climb. Spike's in it now. Basically, optimizing climbs in 2D platformers are always super cool because a lot of the time you're just trying to jump as high as possible, but when you're specifically doing a vertical climb, you want to make sure you land on the platform as soon as possible, the next highest platform. So you don't always want to jump too high. Now that you see some spikes are showing up with Funky, because he has a surfboard, he actually doesn't take damage from spikes. Again, this is kind of like your easy mode a little bit that they added in the Nintendo Switch version. But you still don't want to fall on spikes because getting out of them is the worst thing ever. You move so slowly, you have to hop along. It's like you're walking in hummus. And so if we ever say, I'm in the hummus, that's what's happening.
The hummus glue, specifically.
Right, yes. Glue made out of hummus.
Which is sort of delicious. I mean, hummus is delicious.
I forgot how much
Can I get some claps for hummus?
Yo, shout out to chickpeas.
Is that a type of hummus? Am I not
Oh, no.
We can have this conversation now. We're going into an auto-scroller. I mean, we can let them read donations. We can
Yeah,
talk
that's a
about
good
hummus.
idea.
Wait, we got to go for the barrel skip first, right?
Oh, sure.
Very quickly, look on Goldfish's screen here in the top right. And he skips the barrel. That barely saves time, but we clap anyways. Kruncha got it as well. Let's see about Spike.
Uh-oh.
Hey! Now you can read some donations.
Thank you very much. We have $20 from Captain Tukmok, who says, "Greetings from Moscow. If I were back in the States, I'd be watching this live right now, but I'll start off with a YouTube replay. Much love to Puncher for keeping this comment in reserve for the extra hour. I got you, don't worry. Thanks for bringing my favorite platformer of all time to this wonderful event. Thank you very much."
To jump in real quick, they're going to be trying to jump up hills and take some speed when they go down a hill and then jump. That's about it when it comes to these. Otherwise, it's kind of just jump
pretty weird, honestly, to analyze what is the best thing to do in these auto-scrollers, the minecarts in particular. You just kind of watch the IL world record and you just do all that. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense, but...
It's one of those things that doesn't matter too much RTA. It's more for ILs. But with that, you can do some more donations, Punchy.
Okay, certainly. We have $200 from Batitude, who said, "People haven't been this invested in competitively launching monkeys at high speed since the space race. Keep it up, dudes. Love that ape." Thank you very much. We have $10 from Gummy Bunnies, who says, "My first time tabbing into a GDQ event live. Cheers to all the runs and the wonderful community that's doing good with the charity donations."
あ、解説入られますか？じゃあちょっと、ディスコードに、まあ、ジェネラルでも、どこでもいいので、書いていただければ、対応します。
You're good.
You got it.
I'm so sorry, he's not gonna get it.
You should just donate that anyways. I'm not saying I don't have confidence in myself. Jump in a pit. Ooh, who's gonna jump in a pit?
Who, what?
What? Did you swap?
Thanks for the pasta, by the way. All right, well, now that we're out of 1-4, we have something important to talk about, which is the fact that they can switch between Funky Kong and the original Kong members. That is Donkey Kong, Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong, and Cranky Kong. And they're going to be doing that immediately for this boss. As you can see on Goldfish's screen in the top right, he is already Donkey and Cranky. And the reason that they're doing this is because of Cranky's cane, which allows them to get very high, and also on the Switch version exclusively, they can hit Pompey at some very odd times. So you can see there are some setups here being used to try to hit this cod at the very top of the screen. We call that the God Cod. Went pretty well for Goldfish there. Kruncha's coming up next. Goldfish is showing off some swag bounces while the boss is invulnerable. Unfortunately, oh, I was looking at Spike's screen, my bad.
Why would you do that?
I'm not sure.
Wait, did I do good?
I don't know. I don't think so. All right.
Hey, look, I did that. That was all me.
There you go. All right, yeah, so the main thing with Pompey is that you can't, like, even though you can bounce up like Goldfish is doing right now, you can't damage him in between phases, but you can try to damage him as soon as his phase begins. And that is a lot tighter timing than it looks. First, just getting the pogo off the right spot on the right side is very tough, and then on top of that, you have to dodge
ではちょっと、解説希望の方の、対応していきますので外します。
He's got a large fish here, rather large one. He's going to try to hit this second one way up at the top of the screen in order to dismiss it much sooner. Did a pretty good job of it, and then immediately hit Pompey again, so that was pretty good. Spike, unfortunately, I think missed one of the hits there, and now he should be able to get this next one. Yeah, didn't have to wait too long on that. Sometimes you have to wait for Pompey to move all the way across the half pipe, and it's no good. All right, they're all out of World 1, so they're going to be heading into World 2. Yeah, that's a good clap. Those were pretty good Pompeys overall. So now they're switching back to Funky Kong because, I mean, the cosplay. You know.
And that's the only reason why. That's not the last you're going to see of the DK family throughout this run. They'll get a much lengthier appearance later, but most of this we actually run as Funky Kong. If you actually like break down, there's 41 levels in any percent, and it's actually kind of an even split, I would say, with like when they're faster or whatnot, but it's just faster to not go through all the menus to swap in Kong, so it's a half-second time save for 3 seconds of menus.
All right, everybody's into 2-1 now, which honestly I think is it's one of my favorite levels. Kruncha does a neat strat where he takes the tops of these windmills here. That's because these windmills are all moving counterclockwise. Some of them are moving counterclockwise, some of them are moving clockwise. And you basically want to try to catch the platforms on the windmills whenever they're moving to the right. So that way they kind of pull you a little bit further to the right. Now, if you look at Goldfish's screen, top right, he's doing an optimized climb here, and he's going to miss it and fall down. Have to try to bounce back up to this trampoline. So he's going to miss the cycle there. It's going to open up some time for Kruncha and Spike. Kruncha's our next one to take a shot at it in the bottom. Not quite going to make it either. He does use the hover from Funky to save himself twice from falling all the way down, but that's unfortunate. That's going to give Spike the chance to really catch up here. Now, both of them just jump right off the cart at the beginning here. Because of the double jump from Funky, you can actually just completely skip the cart. Very nice. Now, I didn't catch if Goldfish got into the barrel or not, but as the other
トロピカルフリーズの解説ですが、お名前はまんまるさんでよろしいですか？
はい、大丈夫です。
はい、じゃあ、解説はまんまるさんです。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
音量の方大丈夫でしょうか？どうでしょうか？まんまるさんの音量は。
私は特に大丈夫です。はい、大丈夫です。そうです。ちょっとこのゲームのじゃあ基本情報からちょっとそうです。ちょっとググりながらの解説になりますがそうですね。このゲームは最初に2014年2月13日にWii U 向けに最初発売されて、その後、スイッチ版が2018年5月3日に、発売されて、今回はスイッチ版での、3人でとも走られてます。で、はい、そうです。RIJ3 でナイトを走ったものです。スイッチ版で台本がないんですけど、急遽解説として参加することになったんですけど、台本がないんですが、スイッチ版からいろいろなんか変更点があって、今奏者さんが使っているこれファンキーコングなんですけど、これもスイッチ版でスイッチ版の新要素でファンキーモードっていうのが新しくできたのかな。それでファンキーコングを使えるっていうモードでやってます。ファンキーコングの特徴としては、まず、このファンキーコングはあれかな、なんかサーフボードに乗ってるっていう設定なのかな。なんで、なんかトゲに当たっても大丈夫っていう、なんか、それだけでも十分、やばいキャラっていうのはわかるんですけど、そうですね、お助けキャラです。で、あと、スマブラみたいに空中ジャンプができたり、ホバリングができたり、あと、ライフが5だったりしますね。スイッチ版の確かドンキーコングたちがライフが3なのかな。なんですが、ファンキーコングはライフが増えてます。あと、なんかあったような気がするけど、忘れました。そうですね。なんかマリオカートウィーンに出てたキャラです。
That you saw, like we saw Kruncha in the last level, he didn't even use Rambi. And he says to himself, it's not really faster, it's just a different type of route you can take. As long as you're moving to the right.
2% は普通にラスボス倒して終わりって感じです。 これ一応 any% ノーデスアビューズってあるんですが、アビューズっていう言い方。スピードランド.com を見ると、ファンキーモード、オリジナルモード、Wii U っていう、カテゴリーがあって、今回走られてるのが、ファンキーモードの any% ノーデスアビューズっていうカテゴリーですかね。デスアビューズっていうのは何かっていうと、同じコースで8回やられると、なんか次の面に勝手に進めるみたいな、確かそんな感じのもう、あれかな。スピードランド.com のルールを見る限りは。なんでそれを禁止したっていうカテゴリーです。で、そうですね、このカテゴリーの世界記録が1時間21分47秒っていう記録があります。
Dude, can someone donate just the entire DK rap? I'd be okay with that.
Oh, wow.
Punchy, I want to hear your rendition of
it. Moving swiftly on, we have $15 from Jusby, who says, so happy to donate to a great cause. Also, shout out to my boy Keeper behind the couch.
で、ちょっともう話すネタがなくなってしまったんで、映像を見ながらちょっと、あとコメント対応しながらっていう感じになります。今トロッコの面なんですけど、これはあれですね、リターンズと前作のリターンズとかだとミスっちゃうと即死とかだったんですけど、今作はあれですね、なんか2回までは被弾できるみたいな感じになってます。自分はこの RTA、ゲームをちょっとやったことあるぐらいで、RTA は残念ながらよくわからないので、フレーム技とかがあるのかはわからないですが。
We do not jump up that last hill you guys saw back there, because it actually makes the 3 tiny platforms that you're jumping on actually a lot tighter. So it becomes like close to, we'll say frame perfect. It's probably sub frame perfect.
I've never done it.
Yeah, this guy's in the lead and he didn't do it.
All right, into 2-5 we go. 2-5 is kind of, it's kind of a neat level. It used to be a Dixie level in the original version of the game, but now with Funky,
ドンキーコングの RTA といえばやっぱり、スーパードンキーコングシリーズ、1、2、3、あの辺がやっぱり有名だとは思いますが、これ最近、これ最新作ですね、トロピカルフリーズ。この RTA も、見てて面白いよっていうのを、お伝えできればなって思います。僕が走るわけではないですけど、自分も環境とかが合えば Wii U は持ってるんで、この辺の RTA とかもやっていたい気がするんですけど。
As opposed to most times when you're bouncing on bouncy platforms specifically, like these hot air balloons, they will actually slow down your momentum. The rest of the level, though, is basically just don't get hit and don't stop holding right, and you should be pretty good. Spike now going for the super bounce, and there it is. Everybody nailing that one, so that's good. Oh, getting hit there just a little bit, but not too bad. Every time you do get hit because because Funky kind of just freezes in place for a quarter second or a half second or so, it does lose you a little bit of time. There are exceptions to that rule, but that was
先ほどファンキーが、先ほどファンキーが、いかにチート能力持ちかっていうのが、お伝えしたんですけど、それなんでやっぱり RTA 倍もするかなと。一応予習としてなんか世界記録の動画を一周見ようと思ったんですけど、いかんせんちょっと前日がちょっと忙しくて、ちょっと途中で寝落ちしてしまったんで全部は見れてないって感じです。 あ、はい、どうぞ。
で、一つ、お知らせがあります。ダイジェストについてなんですが、悪魔城伝説まで作成が完了したそうです。なので、まあ、見返したいという方は、AGDQ のアーカイブを見返したいという方は、悪魔城伝説まで見れますので、よろしくお願いします。はい、失礼しました。
はい、ありがとうございます。そうです。昨日とかだとスバさんがムズラの解説とかもされていたんで、まあ、あの辺はやっぱり必見です。
I'm telling you, man. You can dodge a lot of them. You just got to be creative.
Like how do you
You can dodge all those, but like one. Yeah, you can without taking damage too.
Someone, Goldfish, give him your controller. Like I'm just getting all of these.
We're not saying anything useful, Punchy. You can go ahead and read.
I'm not saying, please God.
We have $5 from Jago, who simply commented the entire DK rap.
もう本格的に言うことがなくなってしまったんで、まあ。
$15
コメント対応って感じです。まあ、自分としてはなんか誰もいないのも寂しいから、まあ、一周エンディングまでやったことあるし、入ろうかぐらいの軽い気持ちでやってます。
Don't worry, the instant replay here. So first of all, he's dodging some bananas. Good job. And now you get a little bit of momentum from this swing, and you can actually roll on the ground and do a double jump to keep it all the way into that barrel. Super cool. And then this climb is actually pretty neat too. Oh, okay, that was a little scary for a moment, but once again, optimizing climbs is a lot about jumping as little as possible as opposed to jumping, you know, as high as possible. And it went okay there, but in general, they can look pretty sexy. All right, we're into Scowl here, and Spike, this is a big favorite of yours, I know.
Yeah, Scowl is a Sephiroth, but an owl. So yeah, the big thing here is that this guy is incredibly punishing. You can lose like 30 seconds for missing.
今更なんですが、このゲームのストーリーをちょっと紹介します。ウィキペディアからそのまま読まさせていただくと、今日はドンキーコングの誕生日パーティー、ドンキーコング、ディディコング、ディクシーコング、そしてクランキーコングが揃ってお祝いムード真っ只中でいると、突如北の海からバイキング集団のザ・スノーマッツが来襲してきた。彼らが発生させた突然の猛吹雪で、ドンキーたちはあっという間に遥か遠くへ吹き飛ばされ、常夏の夏国だったドンキーコングアイランドは一瞬で雪と氷の世界へと変えられてしまった。乗っ取られたドンキーコングアイランドを取り戻すため、コングファミリー4匹の冒険が始まるっていうストーリーですね。これはあくまで Wii U 版なんで、スイッチ版だとまあ、ファンキーコングが増えたりっていうのあります。
Not the people who made the game. I'm going to give Nintendo the credit. But yeah, so they actually got rid of all of the RNG in the boss fights, and they made it the fastest RNG that was possible because they were able to look at the IL times and know which was the fastest. Because of that, they don't have to worry about like knowing where these eggs are going to drop in the third phase or anything like that.
ファンキーコングの声優さんが土屋俊秀さんという方だそうです。
With Funky so that he's able to slap him with the last egg and then with his hand as he's moving out of world
わかる人いるのかっていう話なんですよ。
Kruncha's looking pretty good too. Finishing off the boss. Spike not too far behind.
You get him, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Now bouncing off of
I think I'll lose the egg.
Bouncing off of the eggs is a little tougher than it looks because if you press
クルールはどうだろう。クルールは関係ないのかな。
hit the egg and actually make it collectible, like make it so that you can pick it up. So it's actually pretty tight timing. It takes some practice.
ストーリー見た感じは特に関係はなさそうな気はします。
All right, going into 3-1 here. This is Munchie Koopa's favorite level because the music is fantastic. And also, this is the second global cycle level. Basically, any level that has like really interesting music tends to have global cycles to it. But this one, like the cycles aren't quite as big of a deal, at least not in this first section, because there's going to be a much longer cycle that they can't catch.
まあ、マリオで言うとワールド2が3人とも終わった感じですかね。
Yeah, the big cycle you're looking for if you look at Michael Goldfish's screen right now are these puppets you see in the background. They're going to be climbing.
一応このゲームは全6ワールドっていうかまあ6つの島をまあ回りながらっていうストーリーで、最初の5つの島を巡ってボスを倒した後、最後の島が、まあ、ドンキーコングアイランドなんですけど、まあそこでラスボスを倒して終わりって感じです。
As you're coming up to the end here, they actually need to try to get on the nose of the snake and then try to actually jump off of this last one at the right time to double jump into the barrel. Goldfish didn't get it, so that's going to lose him a little bit of time. And then he just like rode it all the way up after that. Now look at Kruncha's screen because he's actually going to try to get on the tip of the snake with a grab jump.
最初に飛ばされた島、まあ1ワールド目がマングローブアイランド。で、2ワールド目がオータムアイランドということで、今3人とも走ってるのがこのサバンナアイランドです。
Who's gonna miss it?
All right, there's the jump. The double jump, it's in there.
Ooh, good job. Who missed it? Who missed it?
そうですね。
Jump in a pit.
Ooh, he took a hit. All right, Goldfish now into 3-2.
まあドンキーコングシリーズの例に漏れず、まあ今作も難易度はまあ高いということです。そうですね。スイッチ、あ、これスイッチです。完全新作という意味ではドンキーが出てない。
So that's why you do see sometimes bouncing off the baobabs here and there, like this. And now coming up to the end here, there's just this large one that follows you. And while making it to the end, you gotta collect every coin and banana so that way you can spawn the puzzle piece at the end, because that is very, very important and not at all useless. Now they're going to try to jump over this puzzle piece as many times as they can before collecting it, before getting to the end of the level. That was a full 3 count from Goldfish. Let's see if anyone can match. Kruncha won 2. And only going for the 2, I think. Unless I missed it there, but he didn't collect the puzzle piece.
I had 4.
Oh, you had 4. Okay, so I missed 2 there.
焦げ付きの木の実をよけつつ足場となるフラワーを活用する視点あふれるコース。で、ステージ終盤に巨大な木の実が背後から襲いかかる。
This is a tournament now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you
nice
got
one-round tournament.
Yeah. All right, Spike got 1. He's got 2.
まあトゲ付きのって言ったんですけど、このドンキーはトゲ耐性があるんで、まあ。
He didn't collect the puzzle piece and therefore is disqualified from the tournament.
What? You were supposed to get it? I was not listening to that part.
僕がやったの Wii U 版でファンキーは一切手を触れていないって。Wii U 版にそもそもファンキーがいないので。動画見た感じだとあれですね。普通だったらなんか敵もなんかその踏もうとするとなんかトゲがついてて。なんか触ると踏もうとするとダメージ受けちゃうみたいな敵がいるんですが、まあそいつも実はファンキーだと踏めちゃうっていう、まあなかなか強い。で、今3の3、負けるなランビトルネードっていうんですが、まあちょっとランビ見当たりましたね。ランビどこですか？本来だと途中でランビっていう乗り物を取って進めることはできるんですが、あ、取りました。左上の方が取りました。ちょっと映像と音声に多分差があると思うんで、ちょっともしかしたら完璧に実況しきれていないかと思うんですが、そこはご容赦ください。
Have not moved. My back hurts. All right. And we're going to move on to 3-4. 3-4 is a bit more of a kind of simple level. It's actually a great one if you want to get into speedrunning this game and you've got to switch. Like, this is a great first level to learn the IL
次3-4がヘルファイアサバンナ。燃え盛る炎のサバンナをフルーツと周囲の火を消しながら進む叫ぶ柱も登場って書いてある。今これ解説してるのは一応全部ウィキペディアを参考にしてます。
So, highly recommend learning this one if you've got the game. It's very fun. For the most part, it's just a lot of rolling, a lot of getting hit by fire, and a lot of getting, a little getting hit by fire, and a very cool trick at the end.
Yeah, Goldfish coming up on
スペック的に
try to grab, jump across, and skip over
この
this
PC の
massive
スペッ
rope.
ク的に
Into a
窓が
consistency strat, jumping into
窓
that
して
fireball.
There we go. He barely grabs the rope and then grabs the next one right
Very
before
nice.
it leaves.
That is not easy to do. No. Kruncha coming up on it as well.
Kruncha grabs the rope. He gets the second one. He's in the barrel.
Guys, that was cool. So I'll show you guys what it looks like regularly when you fail.
We'll see. Spike's coming up. You used to be able to... Well, you can still skip these fire droplets that Spike's going to be coming up on shortly. But... like he was saying, there's actually a consistency strat of jumping into them just to make sure that the rope positions aren't in a weird place after it. So he's going to get hit by the fire here. Now roll deep. Big jump with a grab jump and grabs both ropes. He's in the barrel.
What makes that tighter than it looks is that you will end up a lot of the times, if you're a little slow with your double off of the second vine, you'll actually just get hit by the flame instead of grabbing it, and you'll just fall and die. And that's great because you lose like 20 off of it.
So now they're into 3-5, another auto scroller, and this is in funky mode they actually added an extra heart onto your rocket ship here, and so rocket barrel or whatever, you know, they're called things, and so it made it even easier, and it was already really stupid and easy, which is why you can see them stretching. So,
I can't stretch yet.
They're going to take a secret exit just mostly to both... Wow. Okay.
Get in there.
both to cut out some of this level, but also to do less levels overall on the world map. So, Punch, you can go ahead and... yeah, you could read some more donations.
Super. We have $11 from N Yiddle, who says, I'll donate another $50, but only if Spike Vegeta comes in last place. Much love.
I got you.
We might get that one.
We got this. PCF, you're welcome.
Jeff Lane donates $5 to say, I've been lagging behind on work and everything else today, so to stick with that theme, naturally I'm watching Spike screen. I'll stop bullying you now.
I'm giving you more content here.
Beardsy donates $50.20 to say, the 502 crew is rooting for you, Spike. We are also glad Arby's is in the house. You got someone in your corner.
I don't know if you heard, Spike, but they actually said that one of the ways they found out about GDQ was because they kept getting named for everything.
It's a good name, what can you say?
All right, we're going into 3B now, Bramble Scramble. So, like I said, the secret exit actually changes the world map. Changes which levels they can go to.
今3-5クリアしましたけど、3-5についてですが、まあロケットバレルに乗るんですが、最初の1回だけ下くぐって避けて、あとはもう全部 A 押しっぱで実は行けちゃうみたいです。で、A を押しっぱにしておくと裏ゴールに行けて、そうですね。このゲーム裏ゴールっていうのがあって、今3-5から3-B に、3-B? A だっけ？あ、B か。3-B に進みました。ちなみに、3-5の BGM が、スパドン2のトゲトゲタルメイロのアレンジなんですが、すぐロケットバレルに乗ってしまうんで、ちゃんと立ち止まって聞かないとしっくり聞けないって。
And whenever we talk about a neutral hop or a neutral bounce, it generally just means that they are landing on an enemy and letting themselves naturally bounce off of it. They're not pressing the A button to jump higher. They're just taking that minimum height that you normally bounce off of the enemy. All right, into 3 boss now. We got some monkeys.
Yeah, another boss fight. This was one of the instances that was most affected by them fixing the RNG to make it completely consistent. And again, they made it in almost every instance the best RNG possible. The RNG doesn't really kick in until the second phase of this fight. So the way the health works on this boss is that all three of these
そういえば僕このゲームやってた時に Y ボタンをほとんど離してませんでした。
then you will move on to the next phase. So you're actually going to see us sometimes hit other baboons just to move along the phase to a
トロピカルフリーズも面白いんで、
get to killing the other one quickly.
皆さんやり
Here
ま
in
し
the
ょう。
second phase, you're seeing from goldfish, worst RNG, they would actually stay really high up on the poles.
なんだっ
But
け
now
Y
they
ボタンって
always
なんだっ
come
け
down for us and let us just
何の
jump
ボ
on
タン
top
だ
of
っ
their
た
heads and get rid of them instantly.
Now that Goldfish is into the third phase here, again, like you have to hit.
今3面のボスです。
down to its lowest shade, and then you can.
ペンデュラム、違う。
But Goldfish is into the third phase, and now he has to actually grab a.
お命ちょうだいバブーンでござるっていうステージなんですね。このゲームは結構ボス戦がまあ長いっていうか、まあ長いです。 爆弾を撃ってくるんで、まあ取り付きの爆弾を撃ってくるんですよ。その中にまあ緑色の取り付きじゃない爆弾が混じってるんで、それを投げて倒すというか。
He's going to get hit intentionally or dodge it again because he knew I was going to say that. And get the Phil Mickelson as he finishes off World 3.
Kobe!
Phil Mickelson.
There we go. Kruncha get the Phil Mickelson as well. And spikes into the third phase.
まあ面数的に見ると、まあもしかしたら中間なのかもしれないんですが、時間的に見ると、まだだいぶあります。からが。
Yep, that's right about here. They're going to be jumping into 4-1.
これは多分
And the
あと
main
50
reason
分
to
ぐらいある
switch to the DK family here, they're going to be using them for the entirety of World 4. That is because
Phil Mickelson
Diddy is much better. I think we got a menuing error from Kruncha there.
4の1です。4の1が、あ、違う。
So the main reason here is that
4面があれですね。オーシャンアイランド。陸地が少なくほぼ全体に海が侵食している島。4の1が、目覚めた海底遺跡です。このゲームの、まあ、作曲者の方がデビッド・ワイズさんという方で、まあ、スーパードンキーコングシリーズでも作曲をされていた方なんですが、この水中ステージで、スパドン1の水中 BGM のアレンジが流れるのかな。
Underwater, these barrels rotate twice as slowly as they do out of water. Out of water, it's 1 second. Underwater, it's 2 seconds. Before every rotation to the next partner Kong. Starts Diddy, then goes to Dixie, then goes to Cranky.
そうですね。4面でも隠しゴールを使ってっていう、まあ攻略の仕方です。おそらくすると思います。そうですね。ここではドンキに切り替えてますね。スイッチ版をやったことないんでちょっと理由がわからないんですが、もしかしてここで仲間を手に入れてってやった方が、まあもしかしたら早いのかもしれないです。
Yeah, you end up saving just a couple seconds switching to Dixie instead.
So you can see Goldfish is in the top right is going to be the first one to get through that current and take the secret exit. Taking the secret exit eliminates several levels that we don't have to do, or I think 1 to 2 levels that we don't have to do, and is also just faster levels and cuts out part of this level on top of that. So
yeah, this secret exit is absolutely massive. You end up saving like 4 minutes because you're going to do 1 whole less level in general. Cuts off the entire second half of this level, and one of the levels we're going to get, this next one they're going into, is very, very fast, only a minute.
And on top of that, this next level, we're also going to be getting another secret exit, so we're going to be leaving that level early as well. So this is 4A, as Spike's making his way, by the way, to the secret exit as well. 4A is a really cool level.
4の A が跳ねるラングリーチ。 雷雨の中を自ら飛び出るラングに注意しながら進むということです。
I don't know, man.
Of course I am. You kidding me?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were right here. I love you. I'm sorry.
All right, but you actually get to see every Kong here. You start out as Dixie and then switch to Diddy for some swimming, and then you switch to Cranky because his pogo is very useful for bouncing up very high and specifically bouncing off of spiky objects, as you've seen Kruncha and Goldfish both do now. He can still swim underwater as well, but it's obviously the corkscrew that you could see out of like Funky Kong or just Solo DK sometimes. But now with Cranky, they're actually going to be coming up on a setup here. They're going to use some bananas and then do a max jump out of the setup.
そうですね。ちょっと仲間キャラについても説明した方がいいですか。
Very nicely done there, and that will get them to 4B.
今右上の画面でクランキーコングが仲間になっているのかな。クランキーコングっていうのはかつてマリオと戦った初代ドンキーコングであって、現在のドンキーコングのソフトということで、アクションゲームでは初のプレイヤブルカーということです。杖で地面をついて跳ねることができて、大ジャンプしたり、あるいはダメージ判定のある鳥などの地面を無傷で渡ることができるということです。
Yeah, but Kruncha's really good. I'm actually scared.
What about me?
Well.
で、先ほど4の1で水中で使っていったディクシーコングか。ディクシーコングは、ディディのガールフレンドで、本編ではスーパードンキーコング3以来の久々の復活ということで、ドンキーとコンビを組むのはシリーズ初ということです。ポニーテールを回転させて少し上昇することができて、水中では水の流れに逆らうことができる。
I think Spike, you like to call this kind of a Metroidvania almost.
Sure, like you go to some rooms, unlock
4の1で水の流れに逆らって進むと確信ゴールに行ける場所があって、そこでディクシーコングが必須だから切り替えたんですかね。
Okay, we have $100 from Twisty Maze.
この BGM はいいです。
Go Kruncha, shoutouts from a former co-worker to you and the rest of the Department of Customer Love. That's $100. I don't know if it's cool,
Yeah, we can clap.
Give it up.
Clap for people who know people.
We have friends.
We got $25 from the dude who says, "Hey Spike, I will donate another 50 if you win, or if you do 5 push-ups if you lose."
We'll get that somehow. All right. I really can't do a push-up. So.
Don't worry, I'll cover you.
I need you to like drown in this level.
Yeah, but then you still got Kruncha you got to get through.
You drown as well, buddy. Get the snorkels off.
We got $250 from Skibbs who says another
あ
year
と
means
そうです。
another week
他の
of great speed.
仲間キャラに
The
ついて
Resident
も
Evil
解
and
説し
Silent
ま
Hill
す
2
か。
runs. Good luck to runners and may the RNG be kind to you.
ディディコングは、ドンキーの相棒のチンパンジーで、背中のバリルジェットで少しの間を置くことができると。あれですね、前作のリターンズと、似たような感じです。
All right, 4-5 here though for Goldfish and Kruncha. 4-5 is actually a really neat level. It's a pretty difficult one actually. This is one that they're going to try to switch to Cranky during because again that pogo is like pretty useful. There it is, the Cranky swap for Goldfish. Ooh, Kruncha might have saved it. I don't know. He was trying to break that wall, but he hovered for just a little bit and lost some speed. Let's see if he's going to be on cycle. No, he's got to wait. So again, that's what we were talking about with cycles, how they can.
4の5がスノーマッズトラップということで、敵から投げ込まれる爆弾や爆風などのトラップが多数待ち構えるということです。
Yes, he's going to try to bounce up onto here and then make it into this barrel and shoot past all the barrels, and he got it.
Really good
Very
stuff.
nice.
Not the end of the level, though, for him.
All right, Kruncha's coming up to the same trick here. And the strong dong into the barrel. End of the level there for Goldfish. I actually couldn't see because I was looking at Kruncha's screen if you got the crate skipper out, but I'm just going to assume you did. Yeah, that's what I thought. So if you look at Kruncha's screen, he's going to jump over the crates here and just hover right into the barrel underneath instead of having to slap through him. It saves just a little bit of time, but it saves like an hour in our hearts. You don't want to slap the crates, man. It's real bad.
で、4の6が触手のうねる海ということで、トリトラップや敵、触手が多数待ち構えるっていうステージの。
Now they do pick up Diddy again because, as you can see, Goldfish is in another water level. So that's why Spike was behind. He just wanted to demonstrate right here why you pick up Diddy. And now let's see if he can get the crate skip. And there it is. Very nice. Nice job from all three runners.
Yeah, if you hover there a little bit too late, obviously you're going to fall in the pit and die. If you hover there a little too early, then you're going to scrape up against the boxes, and you're just going to lose all momentum, and then you die. Very cycle-based level that we're going into right here, or that they're halfway through. Current cavers. Again, just trying to get those Diddy cycles.
あとはあれですね、前作のリターンズから初登場した、お助けピックっていうキャラクターがいるんですが、中間ポイントを担当しているっていう、ピンク色の豚ですね。彼がいるその場を通り過ぎると、旗を振ってくれて中間セーブができるということです。
Thanks for the demonstration there, Goldfish. And basically, if you really want to just maximize your jetpack boosting, it's a lot more precise than just mash this button or hold this button over and over. There's a lot of times where you'll see them just pull out like very small corkscrews.
そうですね。何気に今水移動してますけど、前作だと水中に入ってしまうと即死だったんで、今作でまた水中を泳げるようになったっていう感じですね。
Very nice levels so far for Goldfish and Kruncha. I believe, yeah, Kruncha should be able to get to the end here with no issues. They're both trying to make sure that they made that Diddy cycle on that second barrel in the level.
Yeah, you do not want to lose Diddy at the end. Like, I've got my cycle coming here. I might still be able to catch it based on my movement in the level. We'll see.
Yes,
if not, I'm going to try to do a damageless route through it.
そうですね。一応水中にいる間は酸素ゲージっていうのがあって、途中で空気を補給しながらっていう感じですね。
Nice job, whoever's on Stream Tech. That was great. All right, we're into Fugu. So, Goldfish is into 4 boss here. This is a super cool boss. This is, I believe, the fastest one and also just one of the ones that cut out the most amount of time from it. And basically, with Cranky's cane, you actually get this attack underwater where you can swing his cane. And you can actually hit Fugu with that. However, Goldfish is having some trouble here. He's actually taking some extra damage, and now he's letting Fugu move around. You really don't want to see him move around while he's vulnerable at all. If you look at Kruncha's screen, he's doing it correctly.
おそらく RTA では使わないと思うんですけど、必殺技っていうシステムがあって、バナナを100本集めると必殺技を発動させることができ、これを使うとドンキーとバディがお互いの手でタッチするモーションが入り、画面上にいる敵がアイテムに変わる。で、アイテムが発動した時も、バディっていうか、パートナーですか。その時の仲間によって変わります。
No, I'm doing well. This is my strat. I'm just...
Oh, man. Goldfish. Oh, no. He's down to 2 hearts at this point. He is going to hope that there's no more issues. There are a lot of, as you can see, these spike, enemies are moving from off screen, and he can hit the boss with this balloon, but oh no, not quite.
Okay, you ready?
今下画面の方が5面に入りました。5面でまたファンキーコングに切り替えるようです。
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You got this.
5つ目の島がジューシージャングルアイランドということで、果樹園だったりフルーツ加工場などが設けられてしまう。 で、5-1がフルーツハーベストで、果樹園で収穫作業中のアームと研ぎ付きの果実を避けつつ、滑車をうまく操りながら進むと。コースになる。
And there are some really cool tricks in this level, utilizing that double jump and also with grab jumps in particular. Because once again, if they grab while jumping with Funky specifically, then you can actually get some extra height out of your jump. Now you're going to see them just completely skip most of this trolley with the double jump. Kruncha also did a
Harvest Hazards
really get to explain, so we'll get to see the replay on Spike pretty shortly.
Oh, you think I'm going to get it?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't either.
Kruncha's moving to the end of the level. Actually, take a look at his screen on the bottom because he's going to be trying to skip all the way into this barrel. Okay, he's gonna get it. Yeah, we're good. He skipped one of the barrels. It worked out okay. Not too bad. He did unfortunately bonk the wall there for a little bit. Now take a look at Spike's screen. He's just activating that platform and then moving off it as quickly as he can. Not quite gonna get the full bounce, but he did manage to get onto that platform just barely. And he's able to land onto the trolley. Wasn't perfect, but he still got there eventually. And I believe that's his motto.
Good enough. Anyone else
あと、レギュレーションの話になるんですが、一応、ルール上は、これ、any number of controllers allowed って書いてあるんですが、多分、まあ、何個でもコントローラー使っていいっていうことなんですが、まあ、皆さん1個だけですかね、使っている。
Completely skipping the barrels. That's how it's supposed to look. Nice job. That's difficult. Clap.
None of you get it.
You don't understand. All right, let's look at Goldfish. He's going to try to dip under this barrel as well, and he gets it as well. Nicely done.
Do you people realize how hard it is to play a video game?
It's like, you know what's really cool?
What's that?
I'm going to get to pass you again.
Why? Oh, that's not funny.
All right. Kruncha's really... Kruncha here is in an auto-scroll. Actually, they're all in an auto-scroll now, 5-2. Rocket barrel levels. We never even really explained the mechanic here. It's hold A to move up and don't hold A to move down, and that's really all there is to it. And with that, I think we can go ahead and kick it over for some more donations.
5-2ですね。5-2がカラフルフライトっていうステージで、巨大な果実を裁断している加工場の外側と一部の内側をロケットバレルで進むっていうことです。バレルのステージはまあ、あれですね、リターンズにもありましたけど、どれも面白いステージが多くて、自分は好きです。
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun.
そうですね、ボスではないです。こういうのもリターンズとかだと多分当たったら即死なんで、まあ、今回は優しいです。
Donkey Kong. And that's as far as I got.
会場がノリノリ。
Thank you. I don't actually know the rhythm to it. I had to Google it during the last one.
Yeah, you just said anything. That was really good.
That was really good.
I was gonna say, I would like to imagine that you were just sitting over there, like watching a YouTube video.
I was. I don't know the rhythm.
That is one dedicated host, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
gosh.
Someone put $200 in for it, man. I had to.
All right, $200 per verse.
Oh, I'm crying, man. That was so good.
We have $180 from Kuruma Kai, who says, "Hey, Spike Vegeta. Despite the rough start and all the jokes at your expense, you keep an awesome attitude. In your honor, here's $10 for each joke at your expense. The winner is you."
Thank you.
Now I have an excuse to read more of them.
並んではい
On
る
that
の
note,
か。
$25
まあ
from Heckin' Sleepy, who says, "I
この
can't
ス
tell
テー
if
ジが
Spike is
長
being
いだ
poor
け
if
っ
the other
てい
two
う
runners are just playing that well. Either way, good
可
luck
能
to all
性
the
もあり
runners."
ます。
That was an old donation.
I know, it's awful.
They had to dig that one up from 4 minutes ago.
この3が恐怖のスーパースライサーということで、ルーツの加工を行っている裁断機と粉砕機をロケつつ加工される、またはされたフルーツを足場にしながらというステージです。
This is a level with conveyor belts, and if you've ever seen a speedrun of any game that has conveyor belts in it, you know that ones that move to the left are bad and ones that move to the right are good. So they're going to basically try to minimize the amount of time that they're rolling on conveyor belts that are moving to the left and maximize the amount of time that they're rolling on conveyor belts to the right. Kruncha's done a pretty good job of that so far. This is a pretty, like, it's a really neat level because it's just like one of those that it just feels good to go through and get everything, right? Like there's some levels that you can't necessarily explain based on just seeing it, but it just feels good.
Dude, it's also got an absolute banger of a track.
That is true.
Shouts to David Wise.
I can only hear your audio, so I only just got to start hearing it.
You're welcome. I'm getting faster.
How am I behind this guy?
Nice little bounce off of the plant there for Kruncha in order to kind of bounce up onto the platform and break the crates as quickly as possible. Now a neat little double jump. It's going to get him all the way to the end, except he's got to fall down. And now with Funky, this section became pretty easy because Funky's got a neat little hover. I mean, it was already pretty easy, but at this point, you could just double jump and hover in place and wait for a platform to spawn beneath you. So nothing too special about it. He's going to try to jump at the, yeah, exactly, as high as possible to get into the barrel while it's still off screen, and did a very nice job there. The one nice thing about the hover, despite the fact that it kills all your momentum, which I don't remember if we actually mentioned yet or not, but Funky Kong has the hover, and it will kill all of your momentum, so you practically never want to see it. The one nice thing about it is it can save you if you're able to sit there and wait on a cycle for something. So this is one of the cases where like that could potentially show up. Spike's the next one in this section, but I really don't expect there to be too many issues. Yeah, just demonstrating the hover there. I like it. I like it.
I wanted to keep slapping.
Spike, I'm coming for you, by the way.
Oh, please stop.
Oh, look, I'm right there. Oh, I'm gonna get you.
This is like a horror movie. I'm scared. The man with glasses is coming for me.
When's that movie coming out? The Man with Glasses.
Most mundane movie of the summer.
The movie poster is just a black background and just glasses with white
そうです
lit
ね。あ
up.
と説明をちょっと忘れてたんですけど、ファンキーコングだとなんか水面をなんか、水面もなんか、サーフボールがある。
You want to grab bombs as soon as
スム
possible
ーズ
because
に
it starts their fuse.
跳ねながら
It
進むこと
starts
がで
moving
き
their
ます。
fuse faster when you pick them up. And unfortunately, he had to take 2 passes at that bomb. It's actually more difficult than it looks because you want to start a roll and then grab the bomb right after, like right as you jump, more or less. So that way you can actually get a roll jump and have some extra speed and still have the bomb in your hand so you can throw it at
この要は
the,
パタパタパネルと
at
い
the wall
う
that
ステージで
that you need to actually blow up. I don't remember if Spike is actually
ジュース
go
の
for
製
that
造
or
区
not.
画をするというステー
Okay,
ジです。
so we'll see what it looks like when you don't do that.
From a casual standpoint.
And
But
then
if you watch
and
Goldfish,
then shortly after, Goldfish will pass him.
he'll pass me with the bomb throw.
So yeah, you can see Spike does a nice little hop there and then throws the bomb. But if you look at Goldfish's screen, top right, you're going to see as this bomb spawns, he's going to roll jump into it and grab it, and that allows him to double jump through the door and keep a lot of that speed. Now, Kruncha just took the secret exit of this level. That is this. I think this is the secret exit that saves the least amount of time, but it really you never want to go to Jamboree, which is the level that you would go to if you didn't take the secret exit.
Coming up here, Goldfish and I have a big climb that we have to do to catch cycles up at the top of the platform as well to get to that secret exit. Very easily, you can die here and lose a ton of time.
Yeah, we'll look at Spike's screen, the Urban Yeti in the top left here.
次が5の B でジャムジャムスマッ
You
シ
made a
ュと
nice
いう
job
ス
on
テー
that
ジで
climb.
す。
Now, this is kind of the tough part is
出
making
た
sure
り
that
引
you
っ
don't
込んだ
fall
り
in
する
that
足
pit.
早踏み
By
サイ
means,
キ
that
を
was a
く
neat
ぐり
little
抜
way
け
of
な
doing
がら
it, going
進
through
ん
that
でい
top
く
route.
という
Kruncha saving himself with a hover for a
面
little
で
bit
す。
there. Oh, but only momentarily. Unfortunately, that's going to be a death. He is still going to remain in the lead, but he's coming for you. The Urban Yeti is chasing.
Oh, that's what my name is on the thing?
Yeah. I told you he couldn't see it.
I'll take it over Spike Vegeta 2.
That's what I thought they were going to make it.
It's like, oh, so creative.
So whoever owns Spike Vegeta on GamesDoneQuick.com.
Never take it back.
So Kruncha is actually, well, all 3 of them now are in the last level of global cycles that we really care about. And because of Kruncha dying, that really is going to throw off the cycles for him quite a bit. And that's why now you can see him taking a hit here. And he's, barely going to launch onto that platform right before it spawns.
ライフは5あるんで、まあ、ライフがなくなって死ぬっていうことは、まあ、あんまりないかもしれないんですが、まあ、落下死は相変わらず、やっぱり即死なんで、ここはやっぱり注意です。
Meanwhile, the other 2 can catch up some time due to that death and also the ensuing global cycle, mismatch afterwards. Oh, but unfortunately for Goldfish, he's missing the button trying to save the frames, and that's going to cost him the seconds. And then, yeah, more damage too. Luckily, Funky Kong is a beefy dude. He's got 5 hearts of health. Again, intentional damage when dropping through the shaft there, so he can get to the bottom. Some really neat cycles can be made in this level, but none of them did it. Spike with a nice strat, bouncing off the hoots there, took damage, but it still didn't matter. He was able to keep a lot of speed and then double jump into the barrel. Let's see if
5の6のひんやりアスレチックできます。ゼリーを凍らせている区画を進むので、芝が滑るということです。スパドン2の氷ステージの凍える地下水路のアレンジが流れるということです。
Crouching on ice and then coming out of it immediately into a roll and saving a lot of time. Watch Kruncha's screen, you can see a lot of it. I put pressure on you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you really see it from these boost pads, and there's the speed that we like to see. Now, sometimes these flowers can kind of reject you. Didn't happen there, so that's good. Sometimes, though, instead of bouncing you up, they'll just launch you back to the left. And this is where we would have asked Kruncha to turn around and yell, "The setup," like you did last time, but you can't do it with Funky Kong.
The short hop.
All right, Spike's now having some fancy speed work.
So crouch, bingo.
There we go. Crouch once again after landing just to avoid getting hit by the spikes that were coming down, the drills. Very nice speed from Goldfish. He actually took a hit, but not too bad because he was able to immediately launch into a roll jump.
ちなみに今作の BGM はデビッド・ワイズさんが手掛けているんですが、最後に担当したのがっていうか、このソフトが発売されるまでにドンキーシリーズで最後に担当していたのが GBA 版のスパドン3ということで、そこからそれ以来っていうことです。で、ボス。5面のボスが、パワフルベア、バッシュマスターという、ステージ名で、全然覚えてない。一応このソフトエンディングまでやったんですけど、自分は割と 2D アクション慣れしている方で、割とあっさりクリアしてしまったので、どの面が難しかったかっていうあまりはっきりとした記憶はない感じです。
Let's see some more donations, please. Or hear them even.
Right, very well then.
3人とも今5面のボスで接戦ですね。
Always love seeing this game run by you guys, and so awesome to see the tech in the new funky mode. Give those snowmans a taste of the banana slammer.
Can you add an in-game timer?
Please. How do you feel about roll oscillation? We have $25 from Anonymous who says, "Don't tell anyone we're watching at work. Go Kruncha."
今リーダーボードを見ていたんですけど、右上のマイケルさんという方はカナダの方で今世界2位で、下画面のクランチャさんという方が、今世界3位ですね。アメリカの方ですね。で、左上のスパイク・ベギタさんという方が、これもアメリカの方で世界4位の方です。
What if making sure you get fourth, kid?
Oh, come on. You're gonna start over? You're gonna go last two?
Let me go get my Switch.
$25 from Kat who says, "Come on, Punchy, another $25 if you read us the DK rap. It's for a good cause, mate. I'm calling you out. I did it."
Do it again.
No,
but it was really good.
There are 4 more verses.
I'm gonna piece
ボス戦の音楽なんかもなんか
Wait, what?
良かったです。して自分も好きです。
All right, so Kruncha's
gone.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now. He's sitting over on the timer, like he's just.
5面をクリアすると、
What was that?
ついに我らが、ドンキーコングアイランドに帰ってきたっていう感じです。 道中のコースが前作リターンズの各エリアがモチーフになっているということです。
You're not even going to explain it, are you? You're just like, no. That's just going to sit there.
Funky can hover for a long time.
Oh, okay. I just realized what happened here. So he just bounced off screen, hovered for a while, and then finally hit the water, which sent him back to the stage. Thanks for leaving me hanging there for a while. All right, well, these other two aren't done yet, so let's keep talking about Kruncha. He's got 6-1 now. This is, I believe, the shortest level in the game, except for maybe...
まあ、島巡りを終えてついに、ドンキーコングアイランドに帰ってきました。
Yeah. So 6-1 is a really neat level, actually.
まあ、いろんな島巡ってきましたが、まあ、なんかお砂糖だったりグラニュー糖だったり、まあなんか特に変な名前の島があったわけではなかったんで、まあいろんな島を巡って帰ってきました。ここで一回死亡が入る。
So he got through. He's going to take some damage, but there's no worry because once again he's got 5 hearts. That damage, or the extra amount of hearts that they actually add in this game is really nice, not only for safety, but because you can use a lot more damage boost to save time. That'll come up especially in 6-2, the next level.
6の1の、まあ、音楽の評価が結構高いということで。
And it'd be weird if it wasn't named after him.
The Kruncha drop named after NK.
Another community member.
Can someone find a trick so we can name it the Kruncha drop? Name it the Kruncha something, but it's somebody else who found it.
May I interject real quick?
Yeah.
We have made it over $200,000 for the event so far.
Hey!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone who's donated so far.
That is awesome, everyone. Thank you. Keep it coming. All right, to take a look now at Spike's screen, he's going to come up to the Kruncha drop, but on Goldfish's screen, he is jumping all the way to the end.
そうですね、6面から本格的に難易度が上がってくる感じですね。で、6の1がトロピカルフリーズって言って、本作のサブタイトルを冠するコース。
All right, well, Spike gets the nice roll and then jump as well, straight into the barrel. Always a fun one to pull off.
で、6の2が凍てつくビーチで、まあ、入るとダメージを受けるほど冷たい海に浮かぶ凍りついた船の上を進むということです。
Unfortunately, takes a bit of damage there. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but if he takes too much unintentional damage, it can become a problem because there is a damage boost at the end of this level that will save a lot of time if they can pull it off. So
he wants to be able to weave through these enemies right here. Took damage right there, so he's gonna have only 1 health to work with after this big.
本当に接戦ですね。
Past the third hoot so that he can damage boost all the way to the end. That was really only started becoming possible because of the extra hearts that were in the Switch version, or specifically in Funky Mode. So some extra damage, but still made it through the level, so not too bad for Kruncha. We see Goldfish. I keep looking at Spike Scream. I gotta remember, Goldfish is second now. Goldfish is gonna go for this damage boost as well, and there it is. He just launches super far.
そうですね、前にコメントでもあったんですけど、このゲーム結構背景なんかも良くて、なんで見ててもやっぱりその辺も面白いですね、楽しいです。
Spike taking a hit from the hoots, but he's actually, I think, normally okay with that. Unfortunately, oh, can he hover? There it is. He saves himself, and he's going to make it to the platform.
Now I just have to survive the rest of the level.
Which, yeah, luckily isn't too much. And you're
easy for you to say.
Hey, you did it.
Kruncha's in 6-4 now. There are, by the way, no secret exits that they're gonna take in World 6, unless I'm forgetting something. So it's just end barrel for each level. Very easy route to remember.
6の3が氷の遺跡で、どんどん崩れていく凍りついた遺跡を進んでいくということです。
Each of these levels represent a world in Donkey Kong Country Returns. So we got 8 levels here, and then the boss, so the biggest world of the game, and definitely the most challenging.
Now we're going to see a really neat roll and then grab jump from Kruncha to get all the way to that barrel, just skipping some platforming and another barrel. And then he gets to slide down. It looks like he's in a super cool surfboarder pose as he slides down the hill. Everything they did about Funky was just to make him look cooler. Like every instance of the original DK family not looking super cool, they're like, no. Funky's going to look better than that. See, look at this slide. Beautiful.
ちなみにこのカテゴリーの奏者は今33人いらっしゃいます。
Or wait, was that was 6-3? 6-3. Sorry, I said 6-4.
Right.
We're coming into 6-4. You can correct me. I'm okay with it.
No, it's good. It's more fun just seeing how long you'll be wrong.
We're counting.
Oh man, I always got to get one. I finally got World 5 right, so I had to mess up World 6. But now that we're actually in 6-4, we have another auto-scroller. This is the last real auto-scroller of the game. There's another level that's you have to do a lot of waiting on, but not an auto-scroller. And with this auto-scroller, I don't know if anyone's going to try to kind of try-hard it and damage themselves down to 1. Don't let me pressure you into doing it, Kruncha. Don't worry. None of us will ever think that.
Yeah, nobody's doing it. I'll die.
6の4が雪玉の洞窟ということで、まあロケットバレルで進むステージです。
It's the
only way I can feel good about myself, man.
There is a pretty common theme.
All right.
Oh, okay, we're getting 1 from Kruncha. Can we get the second? There it is. 1 heart. But he did that right when he was going to the checkpoint.
Man, now I gotta do it.
マイケルさんのライフが危ない。
So any damage in this last auto-scroller, and they will be sent back pretty far because there's only 1 checkpoint in the level.
Yeah, it's like a 2.5-minute level, so.
And no hearts.
Yeah, there's no hearts for them to collect along the auto-scroller. Ooh, that was a little
3人ともライフ
deep swoop there, Kruncha. Now, I will say that when it comes to Tropical Freeze races, there is a running theme, which is that somehow Goldfish will always scoop away the victory at the end. So,
俺はミスがあるとひっくり
Man,
返
you're
り
gonna
ま
have
す。
to go ultra fat on Fugu and still win. Kruncha, don't let this happen. It's too late for me.
Kruncha is just focusing super hard on not dying in this auto-scroller. It's great.
Okay.
I don't blame you.
I at least got to the purple turd. Everyone shouts the big purple turd on my screen. Our boy. Freezing deep.
All right, with the rest of this, Kruncha is now pretty safe. Yeah, there we go. He's going to be hopping into a barrel, and that's going to give him his heart refresh. And now he's just going to be a snowball for a little bit and roll to the end barrel. I'm sure the other 2 will be fine, so why don't we kick it over for a couple more donations?
Okay. We have $575 from Tails Fox.
今度後半が雪玉に乗って進むという結構斬新なステージになってます。雪玉に乗ってっていうか、完全に中に入ってでクリアと。
If they both finish Frederick, you should just start playing Picross.
I'm actually down.
All right. Are all 3 of them going to make it? Spike's just got this last little corridor to go through.
I've been peeing myself for 2 minutes.
And he made it. Good job. Woo! I heard those people clap for Goldfish, too.
All right, so 6-5 on Kruncha's screen. This is the hardest level in the entire game. Enjoy.
So this is a super cool level, and it's got 3 main tricks in it, and they all have incredibly creative names, okay? So there's 3 big boosts in this level. The first one is called the Inca Dinka.
僕の方がスノーフォレストということで、雪の結晶が舞う森をハンドスラップで動くバネ付き床です。
Now he's going into the second boost, which is Snow Cedo. He actually goes back to the previous springboard, so that way he can get more speed off of that as well. Get a lot of good bouncing. He's going to save himself with a hover, and he's going to get a nice little backup boost. Take the damage, grab the vine for some reason. I don't know why you did that. Let's look at Goldfish's screen for a moment. All right, he's into the Inca Dinka, and now he's going into the Snow Cedo here in just a moment. Gonna get that roll, which somehow, for some reason, like gives you extra speed once you go off of those springboards. Let's see if we can get the full thing here. Off of all of the snowflakes, gonna get an extra roll and all the way into the barrel. Nice job from Goldfish. It's not over, folks, because we have the most creative name of all, the third boost. That's the third one that Kruncha just did and is now into the end barrel, and that was a fantastic level from him.
なるほど。斜め、一応なんかつかめる、なんか、あーっと、左上の方が落下してしまう。
Goldfish make it all the way to the barrel. Spike, unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble.
You're right there?
There was no.
Want to swap a little?
Not just exit the left.
No, you got this.
All right, so trying to bounce over here. He's going to have to wait on the cycle at this
一応なんかスピードをつけて感性を保存しながら進むみたいなやり方で。
Still going for it, but he's going off of a different platform. So he's going to use this platform instead.
成功しま
And now
した。
he'll get his roll of speed right in the same position.
ここでだいぶ
Or actually, sorry, in the
差
later
が
position.
つき始めた。
And all the way into the barrel. Okay, so good snow pseudo.
6の6のクリフアバランチですね。ここが、まあ、雪崩に飲み込まれていくわずかな足前と乗り移り進んでいく。ここが、ここ結構苦労しましたね。
Gets a nice boost off of the first snowflake. Everything's looking good so far. Rolling, jumping. He's into the barrel. A little bit of hovering at the end. I want to note, by the way, the third boost is actually called the Inka Dinka, and the first boost is called the first boost, but it was funnier if we
雪崩ゾーンが雪崩に巻き込まれて即死なんですけど、雪崩ゾーンが結構難しく
Oh
て、
yeah, Kruncha fell off the screen and died, and then
で
suddenly
もある程度だとやっぱり
survived
スイスイいっちゃいますね、これ。
For whatever reason, the barrel. You guys are watching up here on Goldfish screen a little bit.
Yeah, so the cool thing about this level is that all the triggers are kind of based on which platform you land on. So because of Funky's double jump and especially the grab jumps too, they can land on platforms very early. But yeah, Goldfish just held right and walked off seemingly into an avalanche, but instead he fell into a barrel that was hidden and was eventually going to reveal itself. And he just has a visual cue on when he can launch himself from that barrel. Spike, we'll see that soon.
It's going to be a little bit.
今右上がすんなんか怪しい動きを
This level is very kind
して
of
たような気
laboratory
がしまし
themed.
た
I
よ。
know Spike, you always like to call it the Crash Bandicoot level. It just reminds you of the lab levels from Crash 1. And you can actually jump into this barrel that Kruncha is about to get into very early. So take a look. He's going to get onto the second platform as it's revealing itself. And then he's going to jump right into this barrel off screen and save a little bit of time there. And he's going to slap the gong 3 times, pick up the puzzle piece because he's definitely going for swag.
6の7がアイススパークファクトリーということで、凍りついた工場をまず稼働させて、でそこで動き出した仕掛けをかわしながら進むというコースで、スパド1のオイル工場ステージのアレンジが流れるということです。
I think he had to hold up just a little bit. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
I was trying not to take the damage.
Oh, okay. Continue to move through the level. Goldfish doing pretty well here as well. There's the third damage boost for Kruncha. Skipping over those last few lasers. And the fourth one as he gets to the end.
左上が明らかに雪崩に巻き込まれて見えたんですが、これは技ですか。もしかしたらその雪の中のところになんか大砲、樽大砲かなんかがあって、そこから移動したのか、ちょっとその辺は調べてみないとわからないです。
I saw it coming. It was fine. I totally didn't just get it wrong. All right, we got 2 of them into 6-8, Spike's into 6-7, 1 level behind. And we'll see, keep an eye on Spike's screen too, because it's probably the more interesting of the levels here. But 6-8, to talk about it real quick, is another Ramby level. Our very last level
6の8がメルティボルケーノということで、沈んだり氷で作られてだんだん溶けていく足場をランビで駆け抜けていくが、急いで進みたい心理は逆手に取った場面が多いと書いてあります。
Spike now is going to be taking his first damage boost here. every time you take damage, you got to remember that you have to like wait that extra moment to start up your next roll, as well as like if you're in an infinite roll, it will reset that for you. I believe you took an unintentional hit there, so he's gonna have to make sure he doesn't take damage in that next position.
Yeah, made it for it in the next spot.
So now he should be good for the rest of this level, because once again, local cycles or camera-based
時間経過で、時間経過で足場が雪崩に飲み込まれる演出があって、なるほど。雪の中にもうバレルがあったんで、そこに直接飛び乗っちゃった方が早いってことです。なるほど。
You want to explain what attachment is real quick?
Sure.
The other two are in 6.8. I mean, what am I going to talk about there?
Yeah, right.
ちょっとベギータさんがちょっと苦戦してる。
Where you get caught on a platform more or less because it kind of like
sort of sucks you in. Yeah.
And the off-screen barrel hit for Spike. Very neat as well. Kruncha made it past the AGDQ barrel at AGDQ, by the way. We call it that because the first time this game was shown, Goldfish just mashed A instinctively and died because you're supposed to wait on that barrel. We'll see if he does it again. He waited this time, everybody. He did it. And Kruncha ditching Rambi. Now, will Goldfish ditch Rambi? That's the real question.
Is it really a question?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They like to ditch Rambi here, not so much because it's like super time saving, but because Rambi's just not. I think it wastes time. Rambi's just not good, not great.
Yeah, he's worth wasting time for.
Because remember, you don't want to save the animals; you want to kill the animals.
さあ、ということでいよいよラスボス。
Final boss here for Kruncha.
ラスボスが決戦ロードフレドリックということで。
Spike will get there soon.
まあいよいよ元凶と
Well, there is a trademark behind that soon. You just
対
didn't
決
see
して
it.
いくわけです。
Now, Frederick here, our final boss. Once
で
again, RNG has
計
been
測終了が最
basically
後、ラスボスを倒した後の、
But the gimmick of this boss is that he's got a foreground and a background.
まあファイナルパンチ、最後の一撃を 加えた瞬間が計測終了ということです。
So in each of these phases, he's going to launch 3 enemies. You grab them and you just need to hit him once with them. Now you need to hit him 3 times.
マイケルさんとクランチャさんが非常にいい勝負をしている。
So all 3 hits aren't too bad. Now in the next phase, he's going to increase his speed with each hit. So it becomes much more difficult. But before that, he's going to hop around some platforms, and it's based on which platform you're standing on. I believe his jump distance doesn't actually matter in terms of like speed. He just has a set amount of time it takes him to jump from platform to platform. Now that he's dropping these ice dragon things, the ground is all slippery and they gotta deal with ice physics. Kruncha, ever fan of old music, is loving the whole like knee shuffle dance thing. I can't do it, or I would try to demonstrate it for you. If you just move the analog stick back and forth really quickly, you can get him to do it. It's great. There we go. Goldfish is doing it too. Remember to always swag out in the final boss, everybody. All right, Kruncha going for his 4th hit now. And remember, each of these will speed up. So now 5th hit, and on the 6th hit is when he's going to be fastest. There we go. And Frederick, you really kind of have to like hit him on the shoulder blades. You can't hit him on his horn, his like helmet, when you can't really hit him on the butt either.
そうですね。敵が投げてきた雑魚敵を、自分が持ってそれを奥にいるラスボスに投げ返して当てるっていう。倒し方をするんですが、それがなかなか敵に当たらなくて、ここも苦労しました。
Alright, Kruncha's only got 3 hits to go, so he's going to try to hit Frederick
さあ、ベギータさんもラスボスに入りました。
Unfortunately misses that first one. Now he's going to wait for Frederick to stop moving and then throw the enemy. So now 3 more hits, and we're coming up soon on time for Kruncha. It won't be on the last hit here, but it will be on the slap after the boss. Here we go. That's number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And time. All right, Goldfish not far behind. I believe these are his last 3 hits as well. Got number 9.
クランチャさんがこれは ラスボス倒しました。1時間23分46秒と。GG ですね。マイケルさんも1時間23分59秒13秒差。1時間23分46秒は世界6位ぐらいの記録になるのか。世界5位が1時間23分43秒。6位が1時間24分3秒なの。なかなか一発勝負でこれは。おそらく早いですね。
Also, you should be ashamed of yourself.
All I have time for is Donkey Kong.
All right, Spike is now into the third phase, I think.
Yeah, we just finished phase 2. Right, I know we've been here for a while.
I've bought this game 3 times, by the way.
Oh yeah, are these the last 3 video games you've bought? Is Tropical Freeze, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical?
Not quite, but it might be
これは
close.
グリッチタイムか。グリッチタイムですか。一応まあショップっていうのが RT 中では寄らなかったんですけどあって、まあなんかいろいろいろんなものが買えました。残機もここで買えたりします。
That's you, by the way.
All right, hit number 7. Number 8. Number 9, and the Urban Yeti takes it home with a bunch of slaps.
Hey! GG's.
GG. Congratulations once again to Kruncha for the victory. Goldfish, second place, and Spike bringing up the rear, trying to load Pacross as fast as he can.
ベゲタさんも打開しましたね。GG.
I was really hoping it was going to be a repeat.
I missed a lot of those.
All right, we're going to shut up now because you can hear these folks in an interview pretty soon right after this. So.
Oh, we probably need to go.
Yeah. Thanks again, and thanks again, everybody, for an awesome race.
Thank you very much to the runners for that great race of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And that's also it from me from now. I am tagging out hosting. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the show.
っていうことで。
はい、ということで。
はい、お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。
はい。
ドンキーコングトロピカルフリーズ解説ありがとうございました。
はい。ありがとうございます。はい。
お疲れ様です。
はい、ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
まあ楽しんでいただけたらでしたら幸いです。はい。
いやなかなか接戦で解説もありがたかったです。
はい。
ありがとうございました。
そうですね。まあ自分としてはなんかまあ RTA はやったことないんですけど、まあ一周、はい、通常プレイやったことあるんで、まあ誰もいないんだったらまあ誰もいないのも寂しいし入ろうかなぐらいで。
ありがたいです。すいません。はい。
ではでは。
はい。どうも
私ははい、失礼します。
はい、まんまるさんでした。お疲れ様でした。
はい、ありがとうございました。